Hey guys, it's here bringing you another video. Now welcome to a Challenger Spectate. Haven't done these in a couple of days, or like maybe a week by now. And obviously this is League content for the second video of the day. So I did mention to you guys, not every second video of the day will be Valorant. Obviously I'm thoroughly enjoying playing it. I do feel a little bit burnt out with League at the moment. I don't think that's any surprise. So I wanted to show you guys something that just happened. What happened? Oh, did the set get invaded on? Oh, let's just check what happened while all that craziness. So Set's waiting in the bush. He hasn't noticed a bit too late. Shen takes taunt level 1, and then he gets hooked, and then, yeah, he's dead. Does a decent amount of damage in return, even gets ignited. Doesn't waste his flash. I think he was thinking about it, but didn't in the end. And they do get the kill. And the Ezreal gets the kill, which is a pretty good champion to get a kill on because he's a great snowballing control mage in mid lane. But we're focusing on this guy for today. This is an Ezreal, and if I actually get the stats up on him, if I haven't lost them, here, I've got them. So, the player in question is, let's see, he is currently Challenger, 888 LP. This is Woolite from Rogue, so it is a pro that we're watching. And then specifically on Ezreal, it is his second most played champion this season, and this Woolite is EU West's second best Ezreal statistically. Again, arguably, it's probably the best Ezreal on the server, just obviously Woolite doesn't one-trick or main or anything. He's a pro, so has to play multiple champions all the time. But obviously the weird thing this lane is they're against kind of a weird pick. It's a Pyke and Taric bot lane. And this is, again, I like showing these in replay files, is Season 10 feels terrible, and the game quality feels pretty bad. But, you know, you might have troll picks on your team in Platinum or Silver or Gold. They're happening in Challenger, for God's sake. Like, you know, if any of us were loading into the game and was like, dude, I got a Pyke bot, you'd think it's trolling, unless you're the person doing it, and then you're probably going to think it's legit or something. Or, oh, this certain Korean did it. That's always the excuse that everybody gives. But obviously, yeah, I think 99% of us would hate to have a Pyke as their AD carry, technically. But it happens in Challenger. If it happens in Challenger, it can pretty much happen anywhere. So, the lane as it how it goes, Bard, Ezreal versus Pyke, Taric. The one thing to say is I presume Pyke, Taric is just about all in it. Like, I don't see how they're going to farm well. I don't see how they're going to get, like, you know, they can't poke, obviously. They're just going to get... Someone just subbed and I'm not even streaming anymore. But yeah, legitimately, I do kind of think that this lane, it's an all-in lane. And the kind of funny thing, I don't know if the Ezreal pick was into that, or like, I don't know what order the picks were. But like, Ezreal's pretty good at avoiding stuff, right? He's got his E for an AD carry that's pretty high mobility. Yeah, maybe Ezreal is just going to completely screw these guys over in terms of, well, we can't lock him down. Because, you know, if you land the Pyke Q into the Taric stun, that's quite scary, but you have to land that stuff. So you can already see, just to point out how all-in this lane is, the Pyke only has 8 farm compared to 18. It's about to crash into his tower, potentially. He doesn't care. The Pyke literally gives no cares about the farm. He needs to go get kills. Like, that's the pick. So he's leaving the lane, even though he's got basically no farm, to try and go get kills. That is how desperate they are to make this pick work in terms of getting kills. So yeah, they are looking for this all-in. Ezreal's just going to hold. It does get E'd into the Taric. Bard gets the double stun though. Enemy team going on that all-in. Doesn't get the kill yet. Bard's on the offensive. And then there's also a Echo that is on his way. Kindred's on her way too. Really nice E, because if the enemy went for that, Taric would have got the stun near the tower. Not probably exactly. But there we go. That is a bit of a craziness going on. But it's what we kind of spoke about. The enemy team is looking for that all-in. And if they get that Q, if they get that Taric stun, then they go for it. So Ezreal does need to be careful, but for example, Ezreal used his E to escape there, didn't even have to flash. If that was any other AD carry with no mobility, well, they would have 100% had to flash then, and then the next time they get caught, they'd be dead. But because Ezreal's got that mobility, they're not dead. Meanwhile, the Bard goes for a kind of a weird all-in, Kindred as well, with a Shen teleport, by the way, and boom, the enemy team gets a bunch of kills. They've got over around 1,000 gold lead right now. Obviously, that does leave Set in top lane by himself. You know, Shen as a champion, there's always the grand argument. Do you, as a top laner, sorry, do you go and use, you know, your teleport to help bot lane early or dragon early or something? obviously there's no right or wrong answer. It's a case by case basis. Some games it is better if you can get your bot lane snowballing and then they win you the game. Well, then it was worth it. But there are other games that now the set, could take over top lane. And if the Shen dies, meanwhile the Echo's covering the lane. If the Shen dies, look at that damage. In the next couple minutes, then obviously it technically wasn't worth going for that teleport play. So yeah, time will tell basically. Farm-wise though, Ezreal 36 farm, comparing to Pyke's 14 farm. Again, I don't really know what the history is. I guess we could probably look it up while there's not much happening in the game. Let's see, why are they doing this Pyke and Taric? Let's have a look. This Hogger guy. All right, so the Hogger guy, which is this guy, named after a World of Warcraft mob potentially. He is a Lucian and Pyke main. Has 85 games of Lucian, 84 games of Pyke, and he's actually rank 4 worldwide with Pyke, but he's EU West's best Pyke with 84 games, 69% win rate, and yes, he is also Challenger. Challenger 613 LP of me recording this. So yeah, a very naturally good Pyke player. They also do duo queue. Again, it's their duo partner is actually this Taric, by the way. And what I would say, with how League of Legends is nowadays, it'd be kind of rare to see a Challenger player who doesn't duo, if I'm completely honest. And I know that sounds kind of poop, at least to me. I know some people won't really care, but yeah, the League has moved and shifted, because of the community being kind of toxic and not very good. Duo queuing kind of guarantees you at least someone that you should be able to trust, and synergy, like you're synergizing your picks, etc. So that's why duo queue is so popular. So right now, blue team is winning quite badly. Cassio doesn't move, the Azir did, so that was good by the Azir. Ezreal potentially getting caught out. Does have that E though, which we have spoken about. Set is now in the area though with his ultimate. What can they do? Big W, and yes, you can do that flash play, by the way. Ezreal hitting his Q, doesn't get the finish damage. Bard gonna go... No, he's not actually. Big Cassiopeia ultimate. Bard nearly getting the kill. Shen ultimate comes through. Ooh, Taric nearly gets that kill, doesn't in the end though. Cassio being aggressive, doesn't have any mana. Does get jumped on by the Shen ultimate. Set got on the back foot with his W, doesn't actually get the true damage. They should just back off. So this is not going very well for red team as of yet. And with League of Legends nowadays, would I consider this the Pyke pick kind of troll? Sure, but we said earlier this is one of the world's best Pykes, so this guy is just good at Pyke. He can specialize in making it work no matter what, and these guys are perma duo queuers, so that's what they're gonna pick a lane that they think they can make work, obviously, so it's probably okay. Nice Ezreal ultimate, gets himself, that's his first kill, gets himself on the board. So what can we do from now? Taric's back in lane, Pyke hasn't based yet, and worth noting, the Pyke's farm is hardly moving. He's got 18 farm. Like, I don't know if the word pathetic is appropriate, but it kind of does seem a little bit pathetic. But obviously, even Pyke mid laners, you're not really designed to farm, are you? You're designed to get kills. Like, that's what Pyke's about. Pyke can get more technical gold than any champion in the game by kills, because again, his ultimate, if you get a solo kill on Pyke with your ultimate, you get double gold from it. And by the way, there seems to be the actual move is you just put Pyke in stealth with the Taric E, or the stun, which I think is the E, and then you stun them into a free Pyke Q. Again, the Taric is a Taric one trick. 102 games of Taric. His next champion's got 15 games. So, yeah, it just seems that they do this strategy is their thing. Let me know what you think about it down below. Are you guys fine with this type of thing? Are you not? I'm mixed about it, because part of me is like, oh, it's kind of creative. You're using two champions together. But I'm also that old school player that likes champions where they kind of belong. I like my AD carry in the AD carry position. I like my mid mage or assassin in mid. I kind of like things where they belong. And obviously this is not that. So I'm kind of mixed about it. Obviously, I will say, I feel good Bard stun there. I think I have grown potentially as a person, if you will, in terms of duo queuing. Everyone knows I used to hate duo queue, and I still don't. I don't rate it. Ooh, he does get hooked. He's not dead though. Wow. I still think the better player you are, like better players are solo players. I don't think I'll ever change my opinion about that. But I understand why people are doing duo nowadays, because I understand now. Like I admit I am not having fun playing League anymore by myself. I'm just not. I loved the Duo Q series with Vixie. I love doing the flex with friends. I love doing Clash mode. That stuff is really fun. And solo's just kind of, I don't know, it just feels like a slugfest or whatever. So I understand why people are doing. I don't like the idea of duo queuing. It sounds weird, but duo queuing for rating, or I don't like, oh, that, you know, one of the players is clearly just boosting the other player. I'm not a big fan of that. Like, for example, I know this might sound bad. This Pyke is one of the best Lucian players and best Pyke players on EU West. He's doing with a Taric. Like, how much is this Taric player really offering to the duo? I know that might sound bad, but I can't help the way that I think. Because, yeah, I don't know. It's just the whole strategy just seems to be off the Pyke, and the Taric just presses stun occasionally. So, I don't know. Again, being realsies with you guys. I like being honest, you know. That's kind of what I do. Right, so Ezreal adds 78 farm, which I will say, you know, the farm of this game isn't particularly high. It has been already, for a Challenger game at least, a quite high kill game. 10 kills at 10 minutes. That is, for Challenger, quite high. The higher rating you go, generally you'll have less and less kills. Pyke and Taric roam mid lane, though. They do get one kill. Bard actually could be in trouble if he's not careful. Does get out with his portal, and this will leave Ezreal to farming in bot lane by himself. Gold-wise, just to have a bit of a ponder. 4.1 thousand. Pyke's on 3.4. You'd probably never guess he would be on 3.4 gold. Only 800 gold behind the Ezreal at this point. It's because it's Pyke. He just gets so much extra gold from things. Ezreal actually takes the stun. Does a lot of damage, though, which is nice. A bit of damage on the Taric with the Ignite. With Mud, nah, not enough. This Shen, holy moly. Wow, just survives. But that is a nightmare situation for a Shen, by the way. He ulted just to make a survival happen. No kill, no assist, no objective so far. Like, they should push for this dragon to make the Shen ultimate do something, which they are now doing. Because if you get nothing for that Shen ultimate, then you're just losing out to the set. So that's why they're like, right, let's do dragon. Because then in the back of your mind, as at least the Shen, you're like, right, I did a kind of a bad ultimate there, but at least we got the dragon for my ultimate. So that's kind of what you have to sometimes think about. And worth noting, the guy's name is Shending Help. So I would presume that's a Shen one trick. Again, I guess we can check. Again, very rare to see a Shen one trick, I'd say. Oh, wow. Whoa, that is a massive one trick. Yeah, so the Shen in this game is 739 LP. Shen one trick. 391 Shen games this season. Second played champion, Malphite, with 17 games with a 35% win rate. So yeah, when you think of the word one trick, this guy should come up in the dictionary, because damn. Again, that's personally, I don't get one tricking. I get bored sometimes playing the same champion 2 games in a row, let alone that. But everyone's built differently, I guess. Everybody's built differently. Worth noting, this game he's gone teleport. Looking at his match history, it might be worth watching this guy maybe in the next few days. He takes Ignite in all of his games recently, so it's like he's adjusted his playstyle. He's like, instead of going TP, he's now running Ignite every game. Literally, he's been against Pantheon, he runs Ignite. Fury, he's run Ignite. Jace, he's run Ignite. Urgot, Renekton, Kled, he's running Ignite versus them, which is crazy. But yeah. So Set's really doing well. 40 CS lead over the Shen. Obviously, you know, the Shen has TP'd several times already this game, and that will be why, and you know, why the farm lead is so big. Stealing the red is the Ezreal. A little bit risky. I'd say we don't have much vision of a lot of people. Azir gets on a rampage. Double kill. Does eventually die to the Kindred. But damn, that dude just killed 2 people by himself at 13 minutes into the game. That's something, again, you don't see that stuff very often. But Azir is one of those champions that can. Kind of crazy. You know, Azir is the staple champion of when you have people that are like new to the game or not very good at League. They'll always go, but win rate determines how good a champion is. You're like, no, like, Jesus. Again, Azir is the ultimate example of that, and Akali, I guess. But Azir is like the one that is like non-biased, because some people, like, for some reason, I don't know, don't think Akali was ever strong when everybody in the game was like, she's really strong. But Azir, that champion was busted, literally beat everything in mid lane, and in, you know, but the thing is, part of his kit and how the champion's designed it's not worth playing Azir if you're not good at Azir. So Azir's win rate was overall 44%. Terrible win rate. You know, to those people that are like, oh, that champion's the weakest champion in the game. Yet in Pro Play and Challenger, everybody was screaming how overpowered he was. You could not beat him in lane. Like, it literally is impossible to beat him at that point in the game. And he got nerfed with a 44% win rate. So all of the people that literally are like win rate people, they were like so confused about like, but he's got a negative win rate. It's like that... The game isn't balanced to win rate. Again, pick rate, ban rate for high rating is way more important than win rate. Win rate, trust me, sucks for determining if a champion is strong or not, because there's too many outliers about the win rate. People that literally have no idea what they're doing. People that played the champion for the first ever time. All that stuff affects win rate. Ban rate, pick rate is a lot bigger, because if, like, let's say Challenger literally will not let a champion be played because they all think it's really overpowered, well, clearly there must be an issue there if the whole of Challenge is just banning it all the time. Pyke goes for a combo, Taric ultimate with Kindred ultimate comes through, so Kindred ultimate actually saves her, and that's the whole combo, right? So that Pyke ultimate just got denied. Shen ultimate again, Jesus. That whole ultimate got denied, therefore Pyke's kind of usefulness goes way down. I think he might... Nice picks by Ezreal. 2 little kills there. Another Shen ultimate, by the way. Like, I don't know if this is this guy's playstyle. Oh, Ezreal walking a bit too deep. Does get himself killed with Cassio in the back as well. Double kill for Shen. Set probably won't like that happened. But yeah, this Shen is ulting every single time it is up. Without question, he goes. You know, again, the farm lead is getting bigger in top lane. But when Shen gets a double kill like that, boom. It makes the ultimate worth it. It just, to me, is scary how much the Shen is not in top lane. If I was this set, I would be hyper pushing and probably building to a split push build. Like, get that Tiamat for one to get that extra wave clear to really punish the Shen when he's not in lane. Because, like, Set's wave clear, it's okay, but again, you have to use these abilities. Like, if you're using the abilities and then someone like, you know, the Echo pops up, you could be dead. So having that Tiamat to give you that extra wave clear, giving you the auto reset is pretty handy. So again, here, Set doesn't have his abilities up. Why doesn't Set have abilities up? He was using it for wave clear. Literally right there is the brilliant example. If he had Tiamat, he wouldn't have needed to use his abilities to wave clear the wave, and he might have been able to fight them there. So yeah, it is worth it. Like, there are some Set players that don't think Tiamat is very good on him. It is very good on him. It is situational, I'd say. You don't have to buy it every game, but it's pretty good in most situations, I'd say. Oh, that was unfortunate by Bard. It is good in most situations. Ezreal gets himself a double kill. Really nice, though. Good survival as well. And what you might start to see, by the way, this game is Ezreal has now tripled the Pyke's farm. You have to remind yourself that there is, you know, meta exists for a reason. You know, the meta game is technically the best way to play League right now. You know, the best picks, the best combos that go together. And the meta has always been, well, pretty much, you know, having that AD carry in the game. And when I say in the game, you know, when there was the meta of having mages in bot lane, that's when a lot of AD carries went mid. There is that kind of having the mage, having the AD carry, having the tank, having, you know, all that stuff in place is really good. Well, obviously, blue team, they are missing a core piece of actually having an AD carry. So when you talk about, you know, what your team comps need, damage per second is something that a lot of people don't talk about in terms of League of Legends. It's obviously from other games like World of Warcraft, but how much damage can your character do per second is important for especially late game. And obviously having mixed DPS, having AP damage and AD damage is very important. So red team have got arguably 2-3 champions that do high DPS per second, you know, DPS. So they've got a Kindred, who's an AD carry, who does a lot of damage, you know, throughout a fight, not just burst throughout the fight. Cassiopeia does that as well, but for AP. Ezreal does the same. If you look at the enemy team, they've got Azir that does incredible DPS, incredible damage per second. That's about it. Pyke does not do DPS, he does burst. Taric obviously doesn't. Meanwhile, Pyke does get a kill. Cassio, I think, got one of them. Did get the Taric, and now the Pyke will die in the end. Don't know why the Bard went for that. Probably should have let the Ezreal get it. But anyway, so Azir does amazing DPS. Pyke doesn't. He's an execute champion. Echo doesn't really do DPS. He's kind of an assassin execute champion as well. So when you actually look at how the team comps work, I'd actually still, even though red team, well, actually, if you look at the gold, red team is winning in gold, but they're losing in kills. I'd actually give the comp advantage massively to red team because of how their comps are. If I wanted to make the Pyke Taric work, by the way, I would need something other than Echo Jungle. Like, Azir's fine, his damage per second is good. You'd need, in my opinion, not another assassin in the jungle. You'd need something that does, like, sustained damage, like, throughout a fight. So, Xin, something like that, Warwick even, something that just, like, engages well, and it basically sets the Pyke up, but also can maintain the damage throughout the fight. Personally, that's what I would be looking for. Anyway, the Kindred's going overextending. She does get a nice double ult, does the Bard. Can they get out? Nice slow, actually, to slow that Taric. Teleport coming in as well. We can see it on the minimap again. Replays, by the way, are still bugged. Right, I have not fixed them yet. Ezreal getting ult. Lovely ultimate, triple damage. And the enemy team might be looking for this Baron, which would be a little bit... Again, you can see the abilities. They are doing the Baron, and the Kindred was basing, isn't anymore. What can the Ezreal do? So Shed was waiting in that bush. The Baron being about 5,000 health. Enemy team going to commit for it. Cassiopeia W coming down. That was also Cassiopeia ultimate. Not the best. Pyke gets one kill, but over the wall. Shed over the wall. So Baron is up. What are they going to do? Ezreal gets the Baron because the enemy team left the pit. Ezreal getting like a double or triple kill. Ezreal now with the Azir getting a triple or quadra kill for the Ezreal and a Baron steal. Holy moly, that was good. And why was that allowed to happen? If you actually watch that again, half the enemy team left the Baron pit when the Baron was less than 1,000 health. So it's like, okay, like I've said to you guys for a long time, one of my sayings has always been, the Baron loses you more games than it wins. And I honestly, I believe that. It's not just a saying, I honestly believe that to be true. Unless it's a free Baron, or like, dude, they're all in bot lane, we can rush this really fast without even a fight happening. I really don't think 50-50 Barons are ever worth it. And that right there was a definite 50-50 Baron. You know, the whole enemy team was, not that far away. So to me, that was very surprising that they actually did that. And obviously, yeah, it's cost them massively. And Ezreal is huge, by the way. 220 farm. So over the Pyke has got 62 farm. Just gets one shot, does the Echo. The enemy team going all in. No execute happens. Pyke is now, in the back foot. Taric is trying to maybe go aggressive because, his partner's gone. Triple call for Ezreal. And this is what we've spoken about in the past, is that the enemy bot lane is a cheese pick. It doesn't really work much of the game. But if it doesn't work, it really doesn't work. And, Ezreal, it sounds crazy. I think it's one of probably the best picks that ever could be against this two picks. If you were playing, like, Jinx or Vayne into this, I reckon it would work because of their lack of mobility. Ezreal has a built-in E, so half the time he can dodge just with his E if he doesn't have Flash, and obviously he does have the Flash anyway, but yeah. Alright, so Flash coming through, Echo nearly gets the one shot, doesn't get it in the end though. Ezreal going for their ultimate play, does a bit of damage to the Shen, who's now on the back foot. But you have to remember as well, even though the Shen's done some pretty good ultimate plays here, he's pretty behind in the actual 1v1 versus the set. And the set isn't getting involved yet. You can see the set is literally just split pushing this whole game, which I don't think is a bad thing. Enemy team on the back foot, another kill for the Kindred. And this is where, I'm going to drill the point home. It really, honestly looks like the enemy team need an AD carry. With these fights, both teams are pretty low, and it just takes like either an Ezreal with his Qs, or like imagine a Caitlyn getting these crits in the back of the team fight. It just looks like they need that, and they just don't have it. Really good game though, actually. Ezreal having a great performance and finishes 14-1-4, 236 farm. He's nearly 100 farm up over the set. And let's be honest, the set was basically given a free lane. The set ending 2-5 isn't very good, considering the Shen wasn't in top lane most of the game. So, yeah. Gold-wise, where does the Ezreal finish? Can we look at that? Yeah, 15.3 thousand versus 8,000 for Pyke. Ezreal getting the most gold in the game over the Azir, who also had a pretty good game. But yeah, that's a very rich Ezreal. The Baron steal, the quadra kill at the Baron, all because, well, AD carry, right? Good positioning, high damage, high DPS, damage per second in the late game, and the enemy team were missing that component of their comp. So yeah, this is important. One, obviously Ezreal is just a fun pick. He's my favorite AD carry as well, arguably, I'd probably say. And, I might play him a little bit, upcoming. Worth noting that he didn't go Conqueror Ezreal, which is very popular. He went Lethal Tempo. Why Lethal Tempo? Another thing that I haven't even mentioned this one is the separation between a good and a bad Ezreal has always been auto attacks. If you watch a bad Ezreal, they'll generally only use their spells and basically treat Ezreal as a mage. If you watch a good Ezreal, sure, they're using spells, but they're auto-attacking because they're an AD carry. They know their damage is also in auto-attacks, especially if you're buying a Blade of the Ruined King or something, maximize your auto-attack damage. And Miramara, to be honest. But that is going to be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. That was Ezreal versus kind of like a cheesy bot lane. And obviously, by the way, the cheesy bot lane has to work. It's a duo queue challenger bot lane. Naturally, they have to, win quite a lot of their games in order to be at this rating. So obviously, I might have given it a bit of a hard time. I just don't like cheese picks like this. But it was enjoyable to watch. And I'd say it definitely can work. I just think Ezreal is a really good pick against it. Also, I think if their comp changed slightly, get rid of Echo and put in like an AD damage percent. Graves, for example. Graves actually would probably be the best jungler combining with that, because then you get a high DPS AD jungler that your team is then missing because you're not running an AD carry. But that is going to be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And just want to finish off the video by saying, if you have watched my Valorant content, I just want to give a massive thank you for that. I got a really weird email by somebody this morning, and it kind of annoyed me, and it was like, you shouldn't like do Valorant content, you should care about League content for revenue. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm not doing content for revenue. Revenue is so in the toilet right now that it's hardly actually worth making videos. I'm still going to do it because I care about you guys and I want you guys to have content, but I'm making Valorant content for me. I'm making it, I've been burnt out with League for quite a while. I think there's no secret with that. So, yeah, like, honestly, I kind of wanted to email kind of replying to that, screw you, but I didn't. Maybe he's hearing it now. But yeah, I blocked that guy because I just don't need that type of email. It was really weird. But yeah, if you have supported the Valorant content, thanks very much. But if you don't like the game, that's fine too. I'm doing it more for my mental. So yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it. Sorry I had to leave the video on that note. I just wanted to mention it because it really annoyed me. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.